Stepping out of the shadow in my room, caught between cowboy clouds and misty moon. Silver dress, sparkle eyes, crystal blue. I was lost. I was lost to the menace of the mind, sucker punched by love most of my life. Told myself I would always toe the line. Tripped on love and fell, you shook me at my shoulder. Radio up and the blinds pulled down. You love it when nobody's around. I wanna call out Pine Town, but you bite my lip, don't make a sound. Every time you call me. So give me a minute to catch my breath. Take what's yours, I'll take what's left. I'm used to coming up second best. Always fail to pass the test. I'll be damned if I'm leaving